In this video, we're going to talk about ducks. You've probably seen them a million times, right? At the local pond. But behind that familiar waddle and quack, there's this whole secret world. We're talking global travel, crazy social structures, and some seriously impressive survival skills you would not expect. So you ready? Let's dive in. Okay, first things first, let's get a sense of scale. Because these birds, they're not just hanging out at your neighborhood park. They are true world travelers, with a population in the hundreds of millions all over the planet. I mean, seriously, ducks have pretty much conquered the entire globe. You can find them everywhere, from the freezing Arctic tundra all the way down to warm subtropical wetlands. They're in freshwater rivers, saltwater marshes, even out on the open sea. It just goes to show how unbelievably adaptable they are. And a big reason they're so successful comes down to two main strategies for, well, living. First, you've got your dabblers. Think of the classic mallard tipping its butt up in the air. They just skim the surface for food and can just, poof, take off straight into the air if there's trouble. Then you have the divers. These guys are built for hunting deep underwater. But to get airborne, they need a running start, kind of like an airplane on a runway. Super different approaches, they'll both totally work for them. Alright, so that's the big picture view. Now let's zoom way in and look at the life of just one duck, starting from day one. So what is a duck, fundamentally? Well, they're a type of bird called waterfowl, and that name is just perfect, right? Because their whole life, from where they build their nests to how they find their food, it's all connected to the water. So after some pretty fancy courtship moves, a pair gets together for the season. And this is where their family strategy gets really clever. The female lays one egg a day until she's got a full nest, usually somewhere between 8 and 13 eggs. But, and this is the genius part, she doesn't start sitting on them to keep them warm until the last one is laid. Why? So all the ducklings hatch at pretty much the same time. It gives the whole group a much better shot at survival. Now, life out there in the wild, it's tough. The average mallard only lives for about 3 years. But don't let that number fool you. Some of them are incredible survivors. The oldest wild mallard on record lived for a whopping 20 years. Can you believe that? That's some serious resilience. And what about food? Well, ducks are basically the ultimate foodies. They'll eat anything. They're omnivores, so their menu is super flexible. It just changes with the seasons or whatever's around. They'll snack on plants, dig up some worms, maybe hunt a few small fish or frogs. Pretty much, if they can eat it and it's close by, it's fair game. Okay, so we've got the individual duck down. But what happens when they get together? You know, when you see a whole flock of them on the water. Is it just a free-for-all, or is there something more going on? Yeah, think about it. Next time you see a bunch of ducks, look closely. Does this seem like one of them is the boss? Well, the answer is a huge yes. Especially with the males, there's a super strict pecking order. The scientific term for it is a linear dominance hierarchy, which is just a fancy way of saying everybody knows their place. From the top duck all the way down to the bottom of the ladder, everyone knows who's boss. So how do they figure all this out? What makes a duck the top dog or top duck? You might think it's all about who's biggest or strongest, but it's not. The secret ingredient is testosterone. Yep, studies have shown a direct link. The more testosterone a male duck has, the higher up he is in the social rankings. That hormone is what fuels the aggressive behavior they need to stay on top. But all this jockeying for position is happening while they're living in a pretty dangerous world. A duck's life is definitely not all calm paddling on a pond. They have to be on alert, like 24/7, because danger can come from literally everywhere. You've got hawks and eagles coming from the sky. On land, you've got foxes, raccoons, you name it. And even the water isn't totally safe. There could be big fish or turtles lurking just below. Alright, let's wrap this up with the fun stuff. I've got a few mind-blowing facts that prove these birds are way more interesting than we give them credit for. Okay, get ready for this. Number 1, they can sleep with one eye open. I'm serious, half their brain stays awake to watch for danger. Number 2, they have regional accents. City ducks actually quack louder than country ducks to be heard over all the noise. How crazy is that? Number 3, almost every single domestic duck you've ever seen is a descendant of one species, the wild mallard. 4, this one's a little less glamorous. Their metabolism is so fast they have to go to the bathroom about every 15 minutes. And finally, number 5. Remember those diving ducks we talked about? They can't just lift off. They have to do a full-on sprint across the water, just like a little seaplane on a runway. So the next time you're at the park and you see a duck, are you just going to see a simple bird floating around? Or are you going to see this complex, fascinating survivor that we've been talking about? Alright, that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.